The caller's voice echoed in Rajeev's mind as he stood by the temple steps before dawn. The air was heavy, and the surroundings eerily quiet. A woman in a black shawl emerged from the shadows, her face obscured. "You've come far, Rajeev," she began. "But you have yet to understand the curse. Do you truly wish to know, even if it destroys everything you believe?" Rajeev's hesitation vanished in the face of his burning need to save Anjali. "Tell me what I need to do," he said firmly. The woman handed him an old parchment. Its edges were torn, and the ink seemed to pulse with life. It detailed the origins of the curse. Veer's betrayal wasn't just driven by jealousy, but by a pact he made with a shadowy force in exchange for immortality. Every rebirth was his way of feeding the entity with the anguish of Ravi and Maya's souls. The woman revealed a chilling truth: Anjali's soul was a vessel, sought by the entity for completing its dominion. Each rebirth weakened her connection to the mortal world. If Rajeev failed, Anjali would be lost forever, and Veer's cycle would continue. "But why does Veer target us? Why does this keep happening?" Rajeev demanded. "Because in every life, you've been Ravi, and she's been Maya. Your love defies his greed, and for that, you both must suffer." Before Rajeev could ask more, the woman vanished, leaving behind only the faint scent of jasmine. Rajeev, armed with the dagger and parchment, knew he needed help. He visited his childhood friend Nandini, a historian with expertise in Kerala folklore. Together, they decoded the parchment's clues, which pointed to a hidden artifact deep in the woods, a ring said to be the only thing Veer feared. Nandini hesitated as they prepared to leave. "Rajeev, are you sure you can trust me?" she asked. "You've always stood by me," Rajeev replied. "I have no one else." Her eyes flickered with something unspoken, but she nodded. The journey into the woods was treacherous. Trees loomed like sentinels, and the silence was broken only by the occasional rustling of leaves. They reached an ancient shrine overgrown with moss. Rajeev felt a strange pull toward a pedestal in the center. As he touched it, the ground trembled, and a voice boomed. "The one who seeks the ring must confront the truth within." The shrine's walls lit up with moving images, replaying scenes from Ravi and Maya's past lives. Rajeev watched in horror as Ravi, driven by mistrust, had once turned on Maya, inadvertently leading to her death. The voice continued, "Your love is pure, but your doubts have always been your downfall. Prove yourself worthy, or lose her again." The pedestal opened, revealing the ring. But the moment Rajeev touched it, his mind was flooded with a vision. Anjali was in a dark, crumbling house, chained to a chair. Veer stood before her, laughing. His face morphed between Kiran's and that of the shadowy figure Rajeev had seen before. "He won't save you," Veer sneered. "He never does." Rajeev snapped back to reality, clutching the ring. He now knew where Anjali was. The house from his vision was none other than his ancestral home, abandoned for decades. Rajeev and Nandini reached the house as the sun set. The air grew colder, and the house seemed alive with whispers. Inside, the walls were lined with portraits of his ancestors. In the center was a painting of Veer, his eyes seeming to follow Rajeev. They found Anjali in the basement, unconscious, but alive. As Rajeev approached, the shadows coalesced into Veer. His laughter echoed as he said, "You think you can break the curse? Even if you do, there's no escaping the truth of who you are." Veer lunged at them, but Rajeev brandished the ring. The shadows recoiled, and Veer's form flickered. "This ends now," Rajeev shouted, plunging the dagger into Veer's chest. Veer screamed as the shadows consumed him, leaving behind silence. Rajeev carried Anjali out as the house crumbled behind them. Under the moonlight, she stirred and smiled weakly. "You saved me," she whispered. But Nandini's expression was grim. "Rajeev, I need to tell you something," she began. Before she could continue, the ring in Rajeev's hand began to glow. A chilling voice whispered, "The curse is not broken." The cycle continues. The screen fades to black with the sound of a haunting laugh. Who or what still holds power over Rajeev and Anjali's fate? And what secret was Nandini about to reveal? Stay tuned for the next chapter of this tragic and haunting saga.